Hey, what's up guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. I hope everyone's been well and I'm back to the swing of things now. I had a few things going on, including my brother getting married, so big congrats to him. So let's dive in. We're going to go over the price charts this week, but there's really no big changes at all since the last video I uploaded almost 2 weeks ago. Really just discussing these cycles, my expectations, and important levels for Bitcoin to hold. So we're going to run through some recent news today. I'm going to touch on some of the most important points that I saw, and I'll be playing some catch up over the next few days. And remember that today is Monday, January 13th. The best thing about today is we are exactly 1 week from Gensler being gone. So I uploaded this video about 13 days ago comparing previous cycles to Bitcoin after getting its first major move on the monthly time frame, that first major move into new all-time highs. So looking at different pullbacks, the most important level to hold is over the 8-month EMA with monthly candle bodies. So keeping tabs on that for the end of this month, even if we do get some crazy flash wicks. So the monthly is the most important. We can compare and speculate if it's going to be similar time frames like previous cycles. This is in 2017 after getting the first major move and then pulling back for a few weeks, retracing to the 50% exactly on the 21-week EMA and then drawing its next impulse. So it doesn't mean it's going to be like for like, but those are my expectations on the monthly and the weekly time frame compared to past cycles. So long story short, as long as I see the Bitcoin monthly price chart hold and close monthly candle bodies over this orange moving average just like previous cycles during any pullbacks, I believe that we still have another cycle. So I'll be watching this monthly candle body close along with where the RSI ends up closing. Even if it pokes below and hits this level for support, I want to see where that monthly close is. So I've already gone over this, so I'll be super quick, but just pullbacks after getting the first major move into new all-time highs. And the most important thing is just holding above the EMA on the monthly time frame. You can go down to the weekly and look at the 21-week for a bit more insight, more volatility, but it's a bit less accurate. So I don't know what the future holds, and this is never financial advice, but what I believe is after this pullback, whether it's actually really brief right there or it goes and draws a flash wick, I want to see the monthly candle body hold over the 8-month EMA, and after that we continue running. And I've explained before that I believe we are nowhere near our Bitcoin cycle top. We are not in dark red, which can last for months like previous cycles. We are just kind of drawing waves in this color like previous cycles, as you can see. So those are my thoughts. And looking at the pi cycle top indicator for Bitcoin, I believe the absolute worst case for Bitcoin this cycle is 150K. Ideally, we get between 150K to 250K. And based on guessing on time compared to all the previous cycles, looking at 12 months to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, I believe that all of this happens in 2025. Along with the crash of Bitcoin dominance as Bitcoin is making higher highs, which has led to the last 2 alt seasons, so another alt season. So I've explained all of this before, but I don't believe that Bitcoin is going to be in another 200 plus day range like it was here along with here. So does it happen a third time? I don't think so, but you never know. And for anybody that remembers my videos back in January, I was looking for Bitcoin to create another all-time high. We ended up not actually doing our first major move back in March and April, so all I said was holding above the 8-month EMA until we get the first major move. So we did, and I believe that was confirmation for another cycle specifically after elections, and I believe that 2025 is still going to be a good year. And a few last things. I want to see another alt season. I want to see the big crash of Bitcoin dominance as Bitcoin is creating higher highs. If we do any type of pullbacks or flash wicks down to these levels or close that open CME gap, I believe a lot of people are going to think that the next cycle's not here. So we'll keep tabs on the Bitcoin monthly price chart, and just for reference, the 8-month EMA today is right around 78,700. And remember back here, we had monthly candle bodies hold this level. This one came close, but we can see it still held this level. The corner of it was just below, and we did have some deep flash wicks all the way to 49K. So any types of deep flash wicks, as long as we see the close over the 8-month EMA holding the level to some degree, I believe another cycle is here, and we're just in that period of a pullback after getting the first major move. It's really important to have a big macro perspective in this space. Remember, Bitcoin was just under 50,000. It went to 108K. Any type of pullback like this is completely healthy. And it doesn't mean that we necessarily have to poke back that deep. Just looking at last cycle, we didn't even really pull back to the 8-month EMA, but in 2017, we did multiple times. And there are a few other confluences for the Bitcoin weekly price chart looking at open CME gaps, but just overall, I believe another cycle is here. I believe this is the usual pullback after getting the first major move. So as Bitcoin pulls back wherever it stops, whether it's shallow and quick or it just takes a little time, I think it's just a good DCAing opportunity for a variety of alts. And remember that DCAing or dollar cost averaging is about gradually entering into a position, not throwing all of your money at once at a single price point. So you could DCA on a weekly or a monthly basis, or you could DCA once the price chart reaches your zone. And looking at the XRP price chart, it's holding up fairly well here. I mean, you could use this if you're looking at the monthly time frame. I'm just going to use this on the weekly because this looks like the start of the impulse. We already hit the 382, so that is enough in theory. So we'll see how long we're in this range. It does look strong. My personal belief for XRP is if and when the monthly RSI blast past 80 like 2017, we get really big moves to the upside. And for reference, there were already other assets that did this type of counts, whether it's the 382 or even down to the 618, before blasting to these golden extensions. Alright, so let's run through some recent news. I'm sure you guys have already seen this, but this is really cool to see. So we have Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, and Stuart Alderati, who is the Chief Legal Officer over at Ripple, having dinner with Donald Trump last week. I guess I should say going forward President Trump, so I'll work on saying that in the future. We have right here from Cointelegraph, in case you missed it, from the IRS. So they issue temporary relief on crypto cost basis method changes. So this temporary relief applies to sales on centralized crypto exchanges until December 31st of 2025. So we basically have another year. And this is in order to give brokers time to support all accounting methods, so at least they delayed this a bit. Alright, next up, this is really cool to see. So this is shared by Ripple doing a customer spotlight of DC Bank. This is a bank in Germany. So they launched a secure custody solution for tokenized bonds and crypto assets. And they are using Ripple Custody, which is a big deal, and they're simplifying digital asset management and driving efficiency. So basically allowing the settlement and custody of digital assets and crypto securities. So if you guys saw this video, I don't want to play this due to copyright. We can see in the beginning of 2023, we then decided that we should work together with Ripple Custody. So adoption is happening right now for banks taking seriously blockchain and DLT and different applications. And we know BlackRock is one of the biggest financial institutions in this space. Them being a first mover is really big for trust for the rest of these institutions and banks to move forward. So you can learn more at ripple.com going under their customer case study for DZ Bank. Let's kind of run through this really quick. So right here, we can see it took less than 10 months for them to launch a digital custody platform, and we can see the total volume of assets under custody as of the end of August 2024. So this is in euros, referring to 350 billion euros, and I believe that's equivalent or actually greater than 350 billion US dollars. So that's a large sum, and this is referring to the total volume of assets under custody. And remember that this is just one example of DZ Bank with Ripple Custody. Ripple Custody has other partners, but this goes beyond what Ripple and even XRP are doing. This is for the entire crypto asset class. We know there are qualified custodians, there are other crypto custody platforms, there's Visa working on a settlement platform, and tons of investments. And this is an older blog that I usually show from time to time from Ripple and Medico, but we can see the growing institutional crypto custody market is expected to reach a staggering $10 trillion by 2030. So this is the crypto custody market of $10 trillion. And the entire crypto asset class's market cap today is just over $3 trillion. So I'm an investor and I see this potential for the crypto custody market to be $10 trillion by 2030 to be really exciting, especially considering the tokenization stats of $16 trillion by BCG. And this can be applied to the gaming sector. This can go into DePIN, which has a huge total addressable market. This could be AI, which could also be tied to DePIN as well. There are so many things. We know the global stock market or the global equities market today is valued at over $100 trillion. We even have the S&P 500 market cap roughly $50 trillion. We know that crypto is volatile, but I believe the crypto asset class is going to be a major asset class, and even discussing $5 to $10 trillion for this cycle, I don't think that's crazy. I also have iTrustCapital linked right in the top of the YouTube video description for anybody interested in a crypto Roth IRA. I've had a Roth IRA with iTrustCapital since January of 2020. And friendly reminder that there is no month-to-month fee or subscription to have an account. If you have a Roth IRA for tax-free gains in the future and you sit and do nothing, you're paying absolutely nothing. There's just a 1% transaction fee whenever you buy and sell. And they did put out this blog for the IRA contribution limits for 2025. They are the same as 2024. So for individuals under the age of 50, the IRA contribution limit is set at $7,000, and for those that are 50 and older, you can contribute up to $8,000. And if your modified adjusted gross income is higher than the amount, remember that there are things that exist like backdoor Roth IRAs. So for anybody that's young and starting off creating nest eggs for retirement, whether you're in the S&P 500 or you could also have a Roth IRA in crypto, or for anybody that is age 50 thinking about the 5-year rule and tax-free gains in a Roth IRA and considering the potential of the crypto space, don't say I didn't warn you. And not financial advice, but what I mean by that is thinking about somebody that's age 50, you could meet the 5-year rule easily, and by the time you're 59 and a half, you could have a decent nest egg. especially if the crypto asset class reaches some of these estimates by BCG, Ripple, Medico, etc. So there's huge potential. And I'm not telling somebody to take on a huge amount of risk and roll over their entire 401k. Some people do, but even just starting a small nest egg, and if anything pops off, even if it's just Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and Solana, it could be really big. And the good thing about a Roth IRA is you could do both. You could still be conservative and safe in bonds if you want, which I'm not interested in, or the S&P 500, and then have a high risk portfolio even if it's smaller in crypto. There's a bunch of things going on with Hedera, so we've discussed real-world asset tokenization. We can see this happening on a bunch of chains out there. The piece of news I've gone over before that I'm really excited about is Intel and Nvidia. We also had right here the HBAR Foundation announcing, I'm going to say WePay, it might be YPay Caribbean, the leading payment platform in the Caribbean, partnering with Zenny Travel to drive digital travel payments throughout the Caribbean on Hedera. I need to keep tabs on what's going on with YSAT with Hedera as well. I also saw this shared by the Digital Pound Foundation related to stablecoins on Hedera, so we can see a group of leading Filipino banks including Union Bank, which we know, we have Rizal Commercial Banking, and Cancelan Bank are set to launch PHPX, a multi-issuer peso stablecoin on Hedera. So streamlining the process to send money home, I know that payment use cases might seem really boring after years of discussing them, but they're still happening and they're one of the most obvious applications for crypto initially, and then it gets really deep. And we can see right here on digitalpoundfoundation.com going over this news, multi-currency stablecoin exchange for cross-border transactions. And what they're saying is that this system is going to enable seamless swapping between this Philippine stablecoin and other stablecoins like the US dollar or the Singapore dollar, also the Japanese yen, and potentially more. And we can see that this stablecoin is currently awaiting approval from the Central Bank of the Philippines, BSP, with a potential launch window between May and July of 2025. And bottom line, I believe that stablecoins are going to play an important role in the crypto space. I've gone over that a bunch. I hate CBDCs, but just thinking about stablecoins, transactions, liquidity and volume that it can bring, and they operate on top of these networks, I see this as a good thing when I look at USDT and USDC for Ethereum and other chains. So we can apply this to the Ripple US dollar on the XRP ledger and Ethereum. We could apply it to any other layer 1 that is launching stablecoins. There are so many other things I want to go over, so I might have somebody on for an interview in the future discussing AI agents or AI assistants, because I think this is only going to be growing in the future. But a lot of people get bored with payment applications, but don't get it twisted. That application is huge, and that is likely going to be one of the main use cases, which already is in the crypto space today. Somebody sent me a YouTube video the other day over Velo, and it was a Twitter Spaces, and it was really good, and it was a really good reminder to understand in Southeast Asia, there are 450 million people that are still unbanked. So the unbanked population globally is huge. It's 2025, and there are over 5 billion internet users, and there are a bunch of people that are still unbanked. That's crazy to me, and I believe over the coming decades, we're going to look back and be like, wow, this is obvious. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just a quick catch up. I want to go over more news for a bunch of other projects that I see. Just keep tabs on any market pullbacks, volatility. I believe that another cycle is here. I don't want to see Ethereum get too low or go below 2,400. I do expect for Ethereum to still follow behind Bitcoin. And when we see Ethereum rise, I'm going to be a lot more confident and bullish on alts. Thank you guys so much for watching. A huge thank you to all that hit the like button, and I will catch you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.